So when you log into Readlee, you will navigate here to this assignments dashboard. This is where teachers will create assignments. You do need to set up a class before you can assign work that you've created. Here you can see that I've actually created a class just called test class. If you were here and you didn't create a test class, then you would add a class here. And the great thing is if you're using Google Classroom, you can import an entire classroom by just clicking here. But for right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to head back here to the assignments dashboard, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new assignment. So when you hit that tab up here on create a new assignment, right up here in the upper right hand corner, you can either copy and paste directly from a website resource, text that you want your students to read, or you can upload a PDF. I like to upload PDFs for academic reading purposes because I have a lot of academic or content area reading that I have in PDF format. A workaround here is if you wanted to take a picture of the actual science textbook like this, then you can convert it into a PDF and then upload it. The way that I would do that is by using the iHeart PDF conversion. And then once it's uploaded, then you can convert it to a PDF. So here we have this right here, and I'm going to go ahead and actually just hit convert to PDF. When that's done converting to a PDF, I can come back here to Readlee and hit upload PDF. And I will go ahead and grab this one right here, and then it will upload this PDF. For a reading activity, this is a really great way to use the resource that you have. Take a picture of it or copy it and then convert it into a PDF so that it can be used by your students. And I'm going to go ahead and push next. I'm going to go ahead and make a title for the text. I'll just call it Living Things. I will go ahead and spell that correctly. And the author is the 5th grade textbook. All right, and hit next. On this page here, it's processing the text. So it's scanning all the images and then converting it into text. So we're going to save that task. And then on this one, we're going to want them to, their task is to read aloud. But I'm going to go ahead and add a task here. I like this. And I'm going to do a model reading activity. And as you can see here, it says that modeling a reading is scientifically proven to help students become better readers. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now by pushing the record button. Living things grow and develop. All living organisms go through stages in their life cycles. What are some stages of life that you have observed in living things? There we go, push stop. And then it will process this. When the student then logs in, they can listen to you read it first to kind of get a feeling of how you utilize inflection, pause times between sentences. Just kind of sets the stage and helps them understand that there are some expectations that you're going to have for how they're going to read it to you. And I'm going to go ahead and assign this to my test class and then my test student. On this page here, I have a student, a pretend student, and here it is, Living Things. So this is now the student interaction. So when the student logs in, they'll see this page here, and they'll see, oh, okay, so there's a model reading piece. Actually, the model reading is not going to work because I'm recording my screen right now. But they would have a play button to listen to my model reading, and then they do the read aloud. I'm going to go ahead and read just the top paragraph here, and I'm going to make some mistakes on purpose just to show how the software works. Push record. Living things grow and develop. All living organs go through stages in their life cycles. What are some stages of life that you have observed in living ting? As organs go tough, their life cycles, they grow. Unicellular organs grow because they tack in water and food. Multicellular organisms grow because their cells divide in decrease in number. As organisms grow, they also develop and change and matter. What examples have you seen of growth and development in plants? In aminals, how have you developed since you were born? All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Obviously, it's going to process this, and then I'm going to turn in my assignment, and it's going to say, oh, you have unfinished tasks. You have unfinished tasks. Are you sure you want to submit? Yeah, I'm going to submit. That's the reading modeling here. How interesting was this? Oh, so interesting. So it's going to process through. I'm going to pause and let that do that. Okay, so it finished processing here, and on the teacher's page, we can see that I only read 44%. And by the way, the student would have the same information on their screen. They would get immediate feedback on the amount that they got and what they skipped. And you can see here's a little quick view of what the student would get. Oh, they missed that wrong. They said all these words wrong. Aminals. Did they get? Yeah, they did get aminals. And then it just totally took out all of this stuff. Said I didn't read it and gave me that report. So this is great feedback because this is a way to assign reading to students and actually know that they are reading it. Obviously, it requires them to read out loud. But the really great thing is that after a few assignments for BZ student, they'll start to get awards for finishing reading. They'll start to see their WCPM, their word count per minute, increase. They'll start to see the number of unique vocabulary words that they've acquired go up. They're going to start to see that time adjustment also fluctuate too. And what's really neat about this is as BZ student or any student continues to read and work, when you do make an assignment for them, it'll assess the text density and it will give them an estimated amount of time it takes to do reading. And so they get feedback, they get points for finishing, they see the percent correct read, they have maybe evidence provided for them about words that they're mispronouncing here. And they get visual feedback on how much they've done and versus how much they were supposed to do. And this is a wonderful, not only a wonderful just reading activity to do with lower grade students, but a wonderful tool to use with students who have been assigned content area reading. So we're talking about science and social studies. And of course, maybe a trade book, but really content area reading because it helps them track how they're doing. It shows you how much your students are actually reading. It shows them how much they're reading. And also it starts to build an anticipation of the amount of time it takes to get through academic reading or content area reading, which is really important too. I think we've all been there before when a student says, hey, I'm done 5 minutes after 15 pages of reading has been assigned. You can go and look at this with them and really evaluate how much of that is done or how much of their page reading looks like this. Anyway, Readlee, great resource.